Good morning, students. This is class 10 science, lesson 5, periodic classification of elements. Today we'll start periodic classification of elements. Students, as you all know that all matter present in the universe is in the form of elements, compounds and mixtures. All matter which is present in the universe is in the form of elements, compounds and mixture. Element contain only atoms of one type and are the basic units of all types of matter. There were only 30 elements known in the year around 18,000. All these elements were having almost different properties, and later on new elements were discovered and the number kept on increasing. The classification of elements became necessary with the discovery of new elements. Different scientists attempted to look for some trends and patterns in the properties of then known elements, and based on which the study of a large number of elements could become easy. And at this stage, scientists felt the need for some method to simplify and systemize the study of the properties of various elements and their compound. This necessity led to the classification of various elements into groups or these. At this stage, scientists felt the need for some method to simplify and systemize the study and of the properties of various elements and their compounds. This necessity led to the classification of various elements into groups or chemical families. This problem is similar to that of the chemist who sell medicines. You must have seen how a chemist classifies medicine so that he can locate a particular medicine easily. And in our case also, we arrange our books in a shelf in such a way so as to find them easily when required. We arrange books at one place and registers at one place and stationery at one place. So the need of classification became very necessary, and all the scientists started attempts to find out a method for the classification of known elements which could generalize their properties. Although every element is different from every other element, yes, yet they have some similarities, and based on the similarities, the scientists, after numerous attempts, were ultimately successful in arranging the various elements into groups or chemical families. This was done in such a way that similar elements were grouped together and dissimilar elements were separated from one another. This arrangement is called classification of elements and led to the formation of the periodic table. Now, we should know what a periodic table is. A periodic table, we can say, a table that classifies all the known elements in accordance with their properties in such a way that elements with similar properties are grouped together in the same group and dissimilar elements are separated from one another is called a periodic table. Means similar elements having same properties are grouped together in one way in the same group, and dissimilar elements are separated from one another is called a periodic table. Now, what is the importance of periodic table? Importance of periodic table. We can say it helps us to correlate the properties of elements with some fundamental property which is characteristic of all the elements, such as atomic mass and atomic number, and it makes easy to study a large number of elements in the compounds. Study becomes easier, and we can also say that it helps to find relationship between different elements. So classification of elements was done. The first attempt towards the classification of elements was made by J.W. Daubner, a German chemist, who observed relationship between the atomic weights of certain elements and their properties and drew attention to the existence of traits. That is, group of three very similar elements in which the atomic weight of the middle element was approximately halfway between those of the other two elements. What he did? Daubigny arranged similar elements in groups of 3 each and showed that the atomic weights are either nearly the same or the atomic weight of the middle element is approximately the arithmetic mean of the other two elements. These groups of 3 elements were known as Daubigny trait. So you can see on the screen, see the first trait. The first trait, he named that as alkali metal trait. Alkali metal trait, this trait, alkali metal trait. The element lithium, sodium, and potassium are all metals that react with water to form strong alkalis. Thus, he arranged these into group to form a trait known as alkali metal trait. The atomic mass of the middle element, that is sodium, is the arithmetic mean of the atomic weights of lithium and potassium as shown below. Lithium atomic mass 6.9, potassium atomic mass 30. Added these two and found the mean, which was 22.95, nearly equal to that of sodium. Then second, calcium, strontium, and barium, the alkaline earth metal trait. He named them as alkaline earth metal trait. The elements calcium, strontium, and barium. Calcium, strontium, barium, calcium atomic mass 40.1, strontium 87.6, and barium 137.3. He arranged them in increasing order and found the mean. What he observed? That it came out to be 88.65, which is nearly similar to this. And these elements were similar as their oxides and hydroxides are alkaline in nature, and these metal oxides are found in earth crust. So he arranged them into a trait known as alkaline earth metal trait. The third trait which he made was of chlorine, bromine, and iodine, and he named that as halogen trait. He named that as halogen trait as they all are nonmetals and salt-forming elements. The atomic mass of the middle element, that is bromine, is almost the arithmetic mean of the atomic weight of chlorine and iodine, which is shown. See, chlorine 35.1 and iodine 126.9, and the arithmetic mean is nearly equal to bromine, that is 79.9. Now, he was able to mate only these 3 traits only. The majority drawback of this classification was that Daubigny would arrange only 3 traits for the elements known at that time. He failed to arrange all the known metals at that time in the form of trait. Hence, this system of classification of putting elements into traits was not found useful. This was a limitation, but we can say this was the first attempt to relate properties of the elements to the atomic masses. So we can say it was Daubigny's achievement. Daubigny was the first to recognize the relationship between the properties of elements with their atomic masses, and this encouraged other scientists to look for the trends between properties of elements and their atomic masses. The next scientist, let's see over here, the next scientist was John Newland. John Newland, an English scientist. He was an English scientist. He arranged the then known elements in order of the increasing atomic weights and found that the properties of every eighth element are similar to the properties of the first element. Means properties, this is the first and this is the eighth, so the properties are similar. He said that when elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic weights, the properties of the eighth element, starting from any given element, are a repetition of the properties of the first element. Repetition of the properties of the first element. Where he started with hydrogen. See, he started with hydrogen having the lowest atomic mass and ended it. Started with hydrogen and ended over here. Thorium, which was the 56th element known at that time. He found that if the elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic masses, every eighth element had similar properties to the first, like the first and the eighth note of the musical scale. So this is known as, you all are familiar with the musical notes, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. A musician usually use these 7 notes for composing the music of a song. So, and naturally there must be a repetition of every note. So and we see that every 8th note is similar to the first, and the whole music of the song is composed by repeating these 7 units only. So Newland divided the elements into horizontal rows of 7 elements as shown over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 elements. And if we start with lithium as the first, or hydrogen as the first, any. So we will see that 8th element from it is, see, if we start from lithium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we start from lithium, sodium comes as the 8th element. And according to Newland law of octaves, the properties of 8th element, that is sodium, should be similar to that of the first, that is lithium. Magnesium should be similar to that of beryllium. Fluorine should be similar to that of chlorine. Aluminium to boron. But it has been actually found that if we take sodium as the first element and the 8th element from it will be potassium. So according to Newland law of octaves, the properties of potassium should be similar to that of sodium. It has been found to be true. They are having same properties. In fact, all these 3 elements, lithium, sodium, and potassium, have similar chemical properties. But, and this was true for this also, beryllium, magnesium, and calcium, and boron and aluminium also, this was true. But the limitation of octave was that it worked well with lighter elements up to calcium only. This saregama and this 8th repetition worked well comfortably till calcium only. And in order to fit elements into the table, Newland placed even 2 elements such as nickel and cobalt. See, nickel and cobalt are placed in the same place. That is true in the same, that too in the same family of elements, and in the same family of elements like fluorine, chlorine, and bromine, which have altogether different properties of these elements. Nickel and cobalt and nickel have totally different properties than these 3. So even though iron, and this you can see over here, even though iron has similar properties with cobalt and nickel, it was placed far away from these elements. And with the discovery of noble gases, the properties of the 8th element was no longer similar. It was no longer similar. So this also failed. And we can say that limitations of Newland law, what were the limitations? But that Newland law of octaves worked well with lighter elements only up to calcium, as if after calcium every 8th element did not possess properties similar to the first. And with the discovery of noble gas, the properties of 8th elements were no longer similar to the first, and it was assumed by Newland that only 56 elements existed in nature and no more elements will be discovered. But later on, new elements were discovered whose properties did not fit into the law of octaves. And other disadvantage was that in order to fit elements into the table, 2 elements were adjusted in the same slot. As I've told you, the example of cobalt and nickel, and also some unlike elements were put under the same slot. For example, cobalt and nickel are placed in the same column as fluorine, chlorine, bromine, which have very different properties than these elements. And moreover, iron, see, moreover, iron having similar properties to cobalt and nickel was placed far away from these elements. So this also this was also not accepted. We'll continue. We'll start with Mendeleev tomorrow. Thank you and have a nice day.